It was nice to be sometimes out of the apartment, because it was so dark. Everything was closed in. Everything was locked. You didn't know if it was daylight. You had no idea, you know? So I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows in the whole apartment, and every one of them either had like bars attached, completely blacked out, you couldn't see, and drapes drawn.
Why?
Because he was always afraid someone was going to see something. Someone was going to see him doing something that was normal and be able to get him on tape doing it. So therefore, everything got closed off. He never, ever, spoke on a phone. So even if someone was on the phone, he would move away from the phone and go someplace else, just so nobody would hear his voice, And there was always a TV or a radio on in the house, so that if he had to talk to anybody, they would hear mumbling of some sort instead of his actual voice. But most of the time, he wrote things down. There was no speaking most of the time. The charade, he came up with the idea of, he needed to put this act on that he was crazy. He had paranoid schizophrenia. And he knew how to mimic that type of disorder very well. I'm sure he was schooled in some way, but he played it very well. So hence the bathrobe, the disheveled look, the not shaving, the hair all messed, that kind of stuff really became dominant in his life at that point. He would check himself in and out of mental institutions on an ongoing basis, depending on if he felt like somebody was getting too close, if he felt like he needed to evade the FBI somehow. Every so often he would check himself in and out of usually St. Vincent's in Harrison. There was always a cast of characters. And who I remember, the most around us is Quiet Dom, who cooked for my dad sometimes, Baldy Dom, Fat Dom, Dom the Sailor, Frankie O'Bots, Jerry Mapadel. These were the cast of characters that, would actually have dinners with us. Like for Christmas and New Year's, they would come. They would come and sit with us sometimes and eat with us. So they were almost like family. That's how they were considered, And were they always watching over us? Absolutely. But my father had such a hold on that neighborhood that nobody ever really thought twice to come and do anything to anybody, to be quite honest. It was like people just knew these are Chin's kids. I thought about, wow, could somebody get to us? Whether it be the FBI or another family. Could that happen? It ran through my mind. Then when he died, I questioned it again. How safe are we? I know so many secrets at that point that have come out. You wonder, am I missing something? Did somebody not tell me something? Can something happen? Is the other shoe going to drop? It always felt like the shoe was going to drop because everybody was always on edge and everything surrounded him and his life. When John Gotti came in to the picture, my father and him just did not see eye to eye because he was drawing so much attention to the mob. And my father was like, can't have this.